Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Tuesday evening here with us. We've got a Tuesday special tonight. Okay, Tuesday special tonight. We're only going to do half an hour. The reason we're going to do half an hour is because we got at 8:30 our time. So in half an hour exactly, we have the Zohar reading with the whole world Kli. So what we're going to do is we're going to do half an hour of lesson that will also prepare us for the Zohar. And then what we can do is, just carry on with the Zohar and then call it a night. All right. So let's get smashing. Today we're going to be starting a new topic. It's called Fighting the Evil Inclination, with selected excerpts from the sources as usual. So for anyone who's new to our YouTube channel, if you're interested in the wisdom of Kabbalah, you'll find 3 semesters worth of lessons here, which you can all watch free, obviously. And if you're interested, you can also go to Kabbalah.info, where you can join like-minded people in our KABU Academy in probably somewhere around the world. Wherever you are, there's probably somebody in your country as well who's studying, and you'll be able to hook up with them as well. So feel free to scan around and check it out. So this is from Rabash. Once again, the topic is Fighting the Evil Inclination, selected excerpts. All right, so let's start with Rabash, the first excerpt. Tzva, army, are men of war. These are people who go each day to fight the evil inclination. They're called army. Therefore, after they have been rewarded with redemption, meaning after they conquer the evil inclination and emerge from the control of the evil, their conduct in the work is by way of ascents and descents, which is called tzveot, plural for army. So it means armies, meaning at times they emerge from their control and then are under their control again. Thus the name for ascents and descents is tzvaot. All right, so basically the evil inclinations, obviously our egoistic nature. Our human nature is the will to receive pleasure, so we always want to fulfill ourselves with more and more pleasure. And the way we fulfill ourselves is through our egoistic software. And egoism means I'm giving more importance to myself. And that means if I give more importance to myself, obviously I'm stealing from the importance of other people. And thus, henceforth, we've got all the global problems you can possibly imagine, because for everybody, the individual themselves are important, and accordingly, everybody else is not. So this is what we have to fight against every day, and this is why we have morning lessons every day at Bnei Baruch. We study every day, and we try to connect every day in such a way that we can actually achieve that outcome that we're really striving for, which is to be above our egoistic nature. All right, so let's just go to number 2. Okay, this is excerpt number 2. This is again from Rabash. During the work, a person should say, if I'm not for me, who is for me? At that time in the work, they think that they themselves are doing the ascents and descents, that they are men of war called Tzva, mighty men. Afterwards, when they are redeemed, they attain that the Lord is of hosts, Tzvaot, meaning that the Creator made all the ups and downs they had. In other words, even the descents come from the Creator, and a person does not get so many ups and downs for no reason. Rather, the Creator caused all those exits. We can interpret exit as exit from holiness, and ba, come, as coming to Kedusha. The Creator does everything, hence after the redemption, the Creator is called the Lord of hosts. All right, as usual, let's read it a second time. During the work, a person should say, if I'm not for me, then who is for me? So as much as I understand, even though in the excerpt it says everything is done by the Creator, but as much as I understand, I have to do things and I'm responsible for doing. Okay. Why? Because we haven't revealed that the Creator is doing everything, right? So as far as I'm concerned, it's me who's doing everything, right? So if it's me who's doing everything, I have to make sure that if I'm not for me, who is for me principle applies. So at that time in the work, they think that they think that they themselves are doing the ascents and descents, that they are men of war called mighty men. So as long as we're working in our routine, we're going through a lot of ups and downs, and everybody thinks, well, I'm working, and as a result of my work, I'm getting these ups and downs. So we're always tying things to the result of our effort, which is the normal way to go. Okay. What we're going to reveal that the Creator has done everything is right at the end of stuff. Okay. So until then, we always have to think like, if I'm not for me, who is for me? And I have to make sure I'm doing things. Afterwards, when they are redeemed, they attain that the Lord is of hosts, meaning that the Creator made all the ups and downs they had. All right, so that's like at the end of the deal when we're all finished with our correction. In other words, even the descents come from the Creator, right? So everything comes from the Creator, the ascents and the descents, so the good and the bad. A person does not get so many ups and downs for no reason. Rather, the Creator caused all those exits. So every descent is called an exit. Exit from spirituality. Why do we need it? Well, in order for me to build the next level, I have to have that fall. Okay, without a fall, I can't build the next level. This is why also when we attain something in corporeality, for example, if we any knowledge or anything I want to know, do anything, before attaining it, I come from the state of not knowing, not having attained it. All right. So that level is called darkness. So only when I do stuff, exert effort, and I do a bunch of stuff, then I attain what I want to be. And then that's the light. So in every degree, it has to come with a fall first. Otherwise, I won't know how to build it. We can interpret exit as exit from holiness, and ba comes as coming to Kedusha. So we exit first. We feel that we're not in holiness at all. And then we exert the effort. And then we, according to that degree, come to holiness. The Creator does everything. Hence, after the redemption, the Creator is called Lord of Hosts. So only afterwards do I really understand that the Creator did everything. Why is that good for us to know everything afterwards? Otherwise, we wouldn't do anything. Okay, so if we already knew from the beginning that the Creator was doing everything, who's going to do any work? Nobody, right? This is why in this world, we're always given the sensation that I'm doing something, that I'm deciding. It's my decision, my action. And that's the sensation we're living in, which we're obviously going to prove to ourselves that it's not the case, but after only we get corrected. So we've got excerpt number 3. It's also from Rabash. It is known that Eretz, earth, implies the will to receive, which is the foundation. Since all of creation and all the bad that exists in the world extend from this desire, as it is known that all the wars, murders, and so forth are rooted in the will to receive. Nice and short and sweet. Let's take a look at it again. It's known that Eretz means earth, right? But comes from the word Ratzon. So Eretz, Ratzon means desire, which implies the will to receive, which is the foundation. Since all of creation and all the bad that exists in the world extend from this desire, as it is known that all the wars, murders, and so forth are rooted in the will to receive. All right, so there are 2 things actually we do in our will to receive, don't we? One is we run after pleasure. The other thing we do is we do bad to other people. Okay, there are no other actions that the will to receive for itself can do. We're running after pleasure, or we're causing harm to others. Well, or we're running away from suffering. Okay, that's all. So accordingly, we have a mess, don't we? Excerpt number 4. And when you feel that you are at war, okay, when you feel All right, hello everyone. So we had a bit of a technical glitch, which sometimes happens, such as life. Okay, as you can see, that's also from the creator, but we still have to do what we can to get back on track. All right, so let's get back to what we were reading, item number 4. Okay. And when you feel that you are at war, each of you will know and feel that he needs the help of his friend. And without him, his own strength will wane as well. Then, when you understand that you must save your life, each of you will forget he has a body he must preserve, and you will both be tied by the thought of how to defeat the enemy. Okay, once again, let's do it. Item number 4. And when you feel that you are at war, each of you will know and feel that he needs the help of his friend. And without him, his own strength will wane as well. This is really important. What is he saying, actually? He's saying, listen, the work doesn't really start until you begin to struggle and you feel like you need others to help you out. Okay. Without that, the work doesn't really start. If you feel like you're doing this on your own and you're cruising along, okay, it means you haven't done much. All right, so we have to come to a state where we really feel like we need others. Then when you understand that you must save your life, each of you will forget he has a body he must preserve, and you will both be tied by the thought of how to defeat the enemy. So what we need to do is come to a state where we're in such a tight connection that our focus is on just overcoming our selfishness, our egoism, our will to receive pleasure for ourselves, because like it said before, that's the root of all the evil in the world. Excerpt number 5. This is a nice one, short sentence from Bala Sulam Shamatya, 118. One who has a choice, yet struggles to go by the path of faith, is called a man of war. One who has a choice. Now, obviously, having a choice is something we have to discern, right? When can we have a choice? We can have a choice when we're in between levels, in between states, basically, in between opposite states. So, on the one hand, I need to have the urge for spiritual advancement. I need to have a desire to move forward in my work. On the other hand, my egoism is so strong, it's just not letting me move, because it's very hard to go against the desire to receive. So when I'm in that situation and I'm finding it very difficult to go against the will to receive, then, and it says, then you're fighting that war against the evil inclination. So struggles is an important part of how we're getting this done. And this is why sometimes, some friends can't handle it. So, so they chill out, fall off the bandwagon, which is fine, which is okay. But we have to understand the reason they're writing about these things is that they're giving us a heads up. All right, they're not writing it to demotivate us, because as you can see, it's not a very motivational kind of excerpt selection, is it? So they're not doing that like other methods. The Kabbalists want to be realistic. They want us to grow up knowing what's coming, right? So this is exactly how we raise kids as well. We raise them to adapt to life, don't we? We don't raise the kids in such a way giving them the impression that life will adapt to them. It's not going to work out, is it? If you give your kids everything and they think, well, then life is just going my way. And when they grow up, they'll be very gravely disappointed, unfortunately. So a good parent should make sure the kid is adapting to reality. Okay? So the parents, when they're raising kids, right, they shouldn't be adapting to the kid. They should raise the kid to adapt to them. Right? Does that make sense? Okay. So the Kabbalists are also doing the same thing, saying, listen, we're not going to tell you sweet little lies, despite the fact that it was a good song. Okay. And we're just not going to go in that direction. And we're going to say, well, look, it's a bit tricky. And if you don't mind your step and you're walking on thin ice, you might fall into the lake, okay? So be careful. And this is the kind of warning we need to get. We need to understand that the path really starts when I'm struggling with the desire to attain the purpose of life and how my nature is against that. Okay, this is number 6 from Rabash. One should always be in a state of overcoming. This is considered that he is always at war. As our sages said, one should always vex the good inclination over the evil inclination. And Rashi interpreted, make war with it. If a person always walks in a state of above reason, the Creator says, behold, I give him my covenant of peace. As it is written, I will hear what God the Lord will say, for he will speak peace to his people and to his followers and let them not return to folly. This means that after the Creator makes a covenant of peace with a person, he has no more wars, as it is written, when the Lord favors man's ways, even his enemies will make peace with him. Okay. One should always be in a state of overcoming. Now, I can't be in a state of overcoming all the time. Okay, it's just not going to happen, right? How can I have all that strength? It can only be possible if I am in a strong environment. Okay, so the Kabbalists can't write to us. Rabash can't say, you know what, you need to overcome everything and you need a group. He can't keep putting the word group in there all the time. Okay, so he's already given us the tools that we need friends. So one should always be in a state of overcoming. I can only do that if I have a strong framework in a strong environment. Because if my environment is not strong, I cannot keep up with the schedule. It's like going to the gym, going to have a diet, like you want to lose weight, you got to work out, diet, no junk food. You got all these restrictions, don't you? Right? So when we're advancing in spirituality, we also have a bunch of restrictions, okay? And accordingly, to keep overcoming the desire to go and grab that chocolate, you need to have some good, strong environment around you, okay? So, for example, if you're all like in a group and you're all dedicated with the friends to do something, then you can be committed to each other. So when one has the urge to run for a bit of a chocolate, then, you know, the others can say, well, what about the goal? What about this? We're all going to get fit for summer. And where are you going? It's like, where are you going to end up? All right, so same kind of thing here, right? In the group, if we want to head towards spirituality, then what we need to understand is that, you know, every now and then I could be on and off. Overall, the generality of the whole thing is that I should be overcoming with the help of the friends. How can that happen? If my connection is tight with the friends, I will not want to let them down. Okay, why? Because I'll feel bad if I do. Right, so there's a bit of a dilemma here. So the only way to do that is to make an effort in the group. So I'm investing in the group. Investing in the group means I'm trying to connect with them. If I connect with them and I feel connected to them, I won't want to let them down. So then overcoming a problem becomes easier because I feel committed to them and it doesn't bother me so much. If I wasn't that committed to them, then it wouldn't bother me. And then I'll say, you know, I'll just let it go. You know, I've done a few things in the past before. I stopped doing them as well. What's the big deal? I'll just go do something else again, right? So unfortunately, the way things work, if you keep, you know, running after other stuff, when things get tough, you end up getting nothing done, okay? So the work requires a lot of overcoming, but with the right environment, you should be okay. And that's the whole idea. So then you can have the ability to that you can vex the good inclination over the evil inclination. Why? Because what is then the good inclination? Well, the good inclination is me bestowing to the friends, isn't it? So if I'm connected to the guys, and if I'm constantly working on that connection, then I don't mind bestowing on the guys to the friends. I don't mind bestowing onto them, helping them out, and so on. And then I can vex that good inclination over the evil inclination. And the next day, my ego is going to be a bit more stronger. So I'm going to have to overcome it again. But once again, the overcoming, right? The overcoming is only hard before you take the step forward. Okay, what is the overcoming? It means like I have to do something, but I don't want to do it. Okay, like let's say I don't want to get up for the morning lesson. I understand we need to get up for the morning lesson because that's our schedule. Okay. On the other hand, I don't want to go there. Right. So when I'm in that dilemma, this is the time when importance becomes the main factor that determines me getting up. So if the friends become important, the goal becomes important, then I can get up. Right. And this is how I can work with it, based on the importance which I get through the connection with the friends. If a person always walks in a state of above reason, the Creator says, behold, I give him my covenant of peace, as it is written. Obviously, if he's walking in a state of above reason, always, it means he's already pretty much there, isn't he? Right? Because he's done it. He's done his job. All right. So the Creator goes, hey, that sounds good. My covenant of peace is now upon you. All right. So that's already a lucky chap who's got the job done. So what about us down under? All right. So for us, it's a bit of a different story. So we have to strengthen ourselves all the time with the study, the environment, so we can increase the importance of the goal. Once he's already done his job, well, that's like nothing to worry about then. Even the Creator testifies, all is honky-dory. Okay. And this means that after the Creator makes a covenant of peace with a person, he has no more wars, as it's written, when the Lord favors man's ways, even his enemies will make peace with him. So we have to go through this, we have to go through this process, okay? And until we overcome all our desire to receive, this is going to carry on, and it can only be done nice and smooth if I'm connected with a group of friends which I feel that they care about spirituality, they care about my spirituality, and I have to give them the feeling that I care about their spirituality, right? And when we mutually give each other that sensation that we care about each other, then it becomes easier because I feel like I'm committed to them and it doesn't become a burden. Isoke is asking, how do we guard each other in the tent so that no one falls too far? Well, we've got to give good examples to everyone, okay? And we have to have some role in the group. It's really important to have some kind of responsibility in the tent so that I can show up to my responsibilities. And if I don't, I'll feel bad about myself. All right, so this actually is a good way of, putting yourself on the front line. What can we do more than our regular routine to strengthen our environment so that we don't lose our friends? Well, we all need to do something like in dissemination, for example, right? So it looks like we've got Tuesday nights here every night, okay? So you guys know the drill, I know the drill, but we're doing it. Why? Because we're crunching through the material, we're chewing it, we're digesting it, we're just writing it, we're just pretty much carving all this material inside of us, okay? And this is better than me going and watching football, isn't it? Obviously, all right? Or watching some TV show. So you don't want to, kill your brain cells. So instead, what we want to do is go over an article and kind of like work with it, digest with it, and remind ourselves what the path is like, okay? And this will strengthen us up. So being a good example, being a good friend, taking responsibility in the group for a job, dissemination, that kind of responsibility is all good. Irina, we've got 1 minute before we move to the Zohar.
Real quick, it sounds like Covenant of the Peace we will get on the article.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Until then, it's going to be an up and down trip with a lot of excitement. All right, no short of exciting adventures on the path. All right, we're going to love you and leave you. 8:30, we've got the Zohar reading with the World Kli. So we'll hook up next Tuesday again. All the best. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.